Calling all cars. Almost the entire 2022 Minnesota Viking rookie class is missing. Can we find them? Will we see them in London? That up next in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. I appreciate it. I do this for you. You guys are keeping me going. I get better only when you comment. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, and comment. I also go live Monday on this channel. Hour and 15 minutes before kickoff on Monday Night Football. I also go live on the Purple Code. That is also on YouTube on Tuesdays, 9:15. And then we're going to go live, Skull Live, on the Purple Pocket Podcast on Thursday, 9:15. All right, let's get started. Where is this rookie class? Every week I've done, I don't know if I did one last week. I think I skipped last week. But almost every week I did progress of the rookie class, an update on them, and I like to use their college uniforms, just so you know where they come from. Now, as you know, Harrison Smith was out, and it was set, and we were told by the Vikings coaches, Ed Donatel, that we would see a mix of Mateus and Lewis Cine. That happened? I don't think it happened. In fact, I know it didn't happen because he does not have one snap. This guy does not have one snap in the last game against the Lions. He had one the week before. One snap. He is primarily 99.9%, well, 99% of the time. He hasn't even been in 100 plays, so I can't say that. But every play that he saw the field, except for one, has been on special teams. He missed the first week, but the last 2 weeks, special teams. Donatel says rookies have a higher learning curve. Metellus, he played great. A young player played great. Only time he got a chance is because someone got injured. Otherwise, he wouldn't have played. We have this really high opinion of Bynum. Metellus, I think, outshined Bynum. So I think the defense needs to start looking internally and saying, hey, we want to be better. Maybe we got some players that are younger that are better. I mean, we literally destroyed... I don't know how many draft picks from last year's draft class, the year before. We don't like young players. We got rid of almost the entire draft class. And it's kind of looking like maybe Rieger isn't as good a receiver as ISM was. I still think he's probably a better punt returner, though, so that's where we're using him. But that decision's not panning out quite yet. ISM can muff punts. Rieger did that against the Lions game. Could have cost us. So there's been some decisions that have been made that have not panned out quite yet when it comes to last year's draft class and then this year's draft class. This draft class, we were heralding it on how great they looked in preseason. So, Lewis Cine has not seen the field yet, man, other than on special teams. Not sure why. He looked good in preseason. He's well thought of. We were told he was going to play. Metellus held down the fort. Now what? Lewis Cine is fourth on the depth chart now? When he was thought to be a potential starter on this team? He was injured. He's lost some time. Now they're I know they're not closing the book on him, but he hasn't seen the field, and we're wondering, hey, we traded down, we passed on Jordan Davis, we passed on all these other players, we picked Lewis Scene 32, and now we're not playing him. It makes you wonder what's going on there. I'll talk about this a little bit later. It seems to be fully on the defensive side, because we really only had one major early draft pick that went to the offensive side in the second round. I'll talk about him later. Now, all the story is Andrew Booth Jr. is going to be back on the field in practice this week. He's back. He's gonna dress for the game most likely. He hasn't saw the field either. He's not seeing the field either. So, is he gonna play? I don't know. Dantzler looked a little rough this last game early on. Now, in the Philly game, they sat Dantzler for a little while to give him a Caleb Evans some time. We'll talk about him in a second. Do we really think if they didn't play a Caleb Evans in week 3 that we're going to play Andrew Booth Jr.? I thought we had depth on this defense, but we're keeping the starters out there the whole entire time. I think only Jones and probably Wanham are getting time on the field. It's like we have only 13 guys getting playing time on this defense. I just find it odd, man. With what we thought we had was depth on that defense, we're only seeing 13 guys get to play. I'm a little worried. I've been ragging on Donatel a little bit because of this. We'll see, man. What we're going to London, and we're going up there later than the Saints. This happened before, where we were the team that went up there for the entire week, jumped out to a 3-touchdown lead. I think it was 3 touchdowns when we first went to London back in the day when we played the Steelers. Steelers show up on Friday. Well, now it's reverse side. Are we going to show up, or are we going to play against a banged up team looking to get out of a 1-2 record, man? They're going to be desperate. And we're showing up 2 days later than that. And we're going to stay on Central Time. So it's like us showing up to play football at 8:30 in the morning. That's Central Time. That's when the game is being played. We're playing on Central Time, he says. We got to be ready. And I don't care. 8:30 in the morning, it's tough to get your motor running, man. Tough to get your motor running. Did the Saints do it right, and we're making a mistake like the Steelers did against us and showed up 3 days after we did? All right. That's Andrew Booth Jr. The guy that is getting some playing time, Ed Ingram, he had some ups and downs in the first 2 games of the season, but the Lions game, I watched every play, sometimes 4 times, on focus on Bradbury and Ingram, and they combo blocked a lot, but Ingram made some outstanding plays, and he's a vicious run blocker. The problem he has is he doesn't finish his blocks. For some reason, he thinks the block is done. He lets his guy go. Now, it doesn't always cost us. Sometimes the guy's out of the play, but it could cost us. He needs to finish his block. It was more than just a handful of times, man. It was noticeable when I go back and look. I think they'll point it out to him. I think he'll make adjustments. Right now, he's the lowest rated offensive lineman according to PFF. I know some people don't care about that, but hey, if there's 70 guards and he's ranked, 30th or 2nd, it's better than 68th and 69th. See what I'm saying? So he's above average right now. He struggled a little bit first 2 games, I think, in my opinion. Last game, solid. If he plays like that the rest of the year, great. But there are some teams going to take advantage of his lapse of intensity of not finishing a block. I think he's going to be awesome, though, guys. We picked a good one, and we're starting him, which is completely different from what we're doing on the defensive side. Why? Because the Caribbean Hurricane, Brian Asamoah, needs to be playing. He needs to be spelling Hicks and Kendricks. Not that Hicks and this thing about Hicks and Kendricks losing a step. Hicks is on pace to double his tackling total over the past few years. He's on pace to over 200 tackles. It's insane. That hasn't happened. When's the last time you seen a Viking get 200 tackles, man? Scott Studwell is my favorite player of all time. He's set the record. Boom. This guy's having a year like a Scott Studwell did in the 80s. That's how many tackles he's got. So, but even though he had a decent game, I'm talking about Hicks now. Even though he had a decent game in pass coverage against the Lions, Asamoah is better at it. He's instinctual. He runs sideline to sideline. This guy has a high motor. We got to see this guy on the field, man. He made an awesome special teams plays. Smoked a guy on a punt return. Get this guy, man. Or it was a kick return or punt return, I forget. Get this guy on the field. We need him on there. We need his energy, man. Again, we're playing like 13 players. That's not going to be good when we play Miami in the heat, man. When we play Miami in the heat, we got to rest our players and get Asamoah on the field. We need to start. We need to be prepared for that game when it comes up. Might as well give him some playing time now. Caleb Evans saw some time in week 2. I think played pretty good while he was in there. We are playing off the line. This guy is a press corner. I guarantee you, he's going to be known as a press corner in his league. He showed that to me in college. He's adjusted well, being non-handsy. That was his knock on him in college. He's adjusted well. He showed it in preseason that he could do it. He showed it in game 2 for a little bit. This guy can play. We got depth, Donatel. We're going to need it this whole season. Might as well get these guys in the field. I don't know. Are you desperate? Because we were down, you're just not going to play some of the other younger guys? You said you were going to play Scene. You didn't. What happened? Not that you got to explain everything to us, but hey, we can't picture what happened. So don't say you're going to play a player and then not play him. And then you play a Caleb Evans for 30-some snaps in one game and play him 0 the next game. Makes us think something that Caleb did was wrong, and he's in your doghouse. We had enough of that with Zimmer, man. We had players in the doghouse, never saw the field with Zimmer. Dantzler being one of them, year 2. Not even dressing for some games. Anyway, now he's our starting corner again. So Caleb Evans, some reason got time, and now he doesn't. Doesn't get a snap in the Lions game and plays special teams. So I thought we were going to be a little bit deeper on our defensive line after the preseason. A guy that's not even playing special teams, so I imagine he's not even dressing right now. Atamewu. I hope I say his name right, but again, a prototypical defensive end in a 3-4. Yeah, I think he's a good run defender. He showed it in college, and he's got a one pretty decent pass for us move. And he did it pretty well in college, but he's not dressing. So where is this guy? Now, it could be a good reason. This guy I'm not worried about. I almost wanted to cut him to have him and try to get him on the practice squad because I thought he would have been able to sneak on there. But Atamewu hasn't seen the field. Another guy not participating. I don't think he's dressing. He's not showing up on special teams chart. I could be wrong, but I just looked up on Football Reference. He hasn't played either. Now, Cook could be out. He could dress, but I doubt he'll get to play. We all know he showed up really well in the preseason. He may not even get a chance this year. I think he's talented enough to be our starter in 2024 if we stick with Cook and one more year with Cook. Alexander Madison would be gone in that scenario, and this guy would be starting in 2024. But he's that good, guys. We got a good one in the 5th round, a steal. Another guy who I said we probably could have cut because there's other players we could have kept on this team, and he would have passed through waivers and been on the practice squad. Not one snap yet, which is great because he's offensive lineman, but he's not even one snap on special teams. So it just makes me believe that he's not dressing right now. And I guess I haven't looked at the game day roster to see if they put that out where they have 46 players. But again, he hasn't got a snap yet, even on special teams, which I didn't expect, honestly, because I was thinking he was a cut and he was going to go on the practice squad, but we decided to keep 10 offensive linemen. Now, Jalen Naylor has been dressing up, has been on special teams, and I think it's mainly because he is our backup punt returner. If Reagor goes out, we have this guy who's actually returned punts in college, would be able to spell Reagor. Now, which is a good decision, but I don't think he saw the field, and if we're going no huddle, he's not getting a snap as a receiver, I guess we're going 4 receivers all game. Maybe they're not tired. Maybe they're not tired. I wouldn't mind seeing this guy get a chance because Reagor right now hasn't done anything. He made a bad decision even though the defender made a good play, he chose to go inside to where the defense was when the outside was the better option. Because that's where the blocker thought he was going to go. So, anyways, Naylor may be a better player than Reagor. I don't know if he's a better punt returner. I think Reagor could be pretty good there. But right now, Reagor hasn't showed a whole lot on offense yet. And I think made kind of a bad decision on a play late in the game. So, hey, you know what? Naylor hasn't got an opportunity on the offense either. The only guy who's getting a legitimate shot is Ed Ingram, and he's starting. And the other guy that's got to see at least more than 2 snaps is a Caleb Evans. If you told me that this team was only going to have one guy on a rookie team play in week 3, one rookie from the rookie class play in week 3, especially after we released not all, but a lot of the 2020's draft class, 2021's draft class. Like 7 guys cut that this draft class would not see any time except for our right guard. I would have thought you were crazy. Something's going on. Maybe it's injury, loss of time, but it comes down to trust, and right now Donatel doesn't trust any of these guys. At least against the Lions. Didn't trust any of them against the Lions. So put Asamoah in there at least. Give a series or 2 to our cornerbacks. Give a series to Scene. Sit behind him every once in a while. He's not doing that great. Metellus probably earned a spot, though. He played really good. But hey, that's it for today. The missing persons report is out for this rookie class. It's week 3, and it's only gone downhill except for Ed Ingram. All right, guys, that's Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook, Skull World. Go check out my schedule of live shows in my community tab. That's it for today, folks. Skull Vikings. Cue the music. Thank you, Viking fans, for listening. Make sure you catch my other episodes. Also, make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Thank you. Thank you. Skol Vikes.